Body, Part 1. Who was Ed Gein? Ed Gein was born on August 27, 1906, in La Crosse, Wisconsin. He grew up on an isolated farm with his mother, Augusta, and his brother, Henry. Augusta was extremely religious and authoritarian, instilling in Ed a distorted view of women and sin. She used the Bible to justify her control over the family, creating an oppressive and isolated environment. Ed's relationship with his mother was deeply disturbing. She isolated him from society, convincing him that all women, except her, were immoral. This created a sick bond between them that lasted even after her death in 1945. Augusta's death left Ed devastated and even more isolated, without the dominant figure that controlled his life. Part 2. Ed Gein's lonely life. After his mother's death, Ed began exhibiting increasingly bizarre behaviors. He developed a morbid fascination with human anatomy and started frequenting local cemeteries to exhume corpses and bring body parts home. Over time, he transitioned from necrophiliac to murderer. The local community saw Ed as an eccentric and lonely figure, but no one suspected the monstrosities he was hiding. Ed started making nocturnal visits to cemeteries, digging up fresh graves to take bodies back to his farm. He used the skin of the corpses to create clothing and objects in a disturbing effort to recreate his mother. Part 3. Ed Gein's horrific crimes. In 1957, the police began investigating the disappearance of Bernice Wardens, a local storekeeper. Clues led investigators to Gein's house, where they discovered a true house of horrors. Warden's body was found decapitated and hung upside down. But what shocked the police even more was the state of the house. Filled with human remains, furniture made from bones and skin, and facial masks made of human leather. In addition to Bernice Wardens, Ed confessed to killing Mary Hogan, a tavern owner who had disappeared in 1954. He also admitted to exhuming bodies from local cemeteries. The investigation revealed a house filled with macabre artifacts, such as bowls made from human skulls and lampshades made of skin. Part 4. Trial and Conviction. Ed Gein was arrested and found mentally incompetent to stand trial immediately. He was sent to a mental institution where he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. In 1968, Gein was finally deemed fit for trial and found guilty of the murders of Wardens and Hogan. However, due to his mental condition, he was committed to a psychiatric hospital, where he remained until his death in 1984. Part 5. The inspiration for Psycho. Ed Gein's story quickly became known nationwide, shocking and fascinating the public. Writer Robert Bloch, who lived just 35 miles from Plainfield, was inspired by Gein's crimes to write his novel Psycho in 1959. In the book, Bloch created the character Norman Bates, a man who ran an isolated motel and had a sick relationship with his deceased mother. When Alfred Hitchcock read Psycho, he saw the potential for an innovative horror film. Released in 1960, Psycho became a landmark in horror cinema, famous for its twists and the iconic shower scene. Hitchcock, known for his ability to create tension and suspense, made Psycho a masterpiece of psychological horror. Norman Bates, played by Anthony Perkins, is a fictional representation of Gein's psychological disturbances and crimes. Perkins' portrayal brought a haunting depth to the character, making him one of cinema's most memorable villains. Perkins' subtle and disturbing performance captured the essence of a man divided between two personalities. Part 6. The Making of Psycho. The production of Psycho was a journey in itself. Hitchcock decided to film the movie on a relatively low budget and used the crew from his TV show, Alfred Hitchcock Presents. He partially financed the film with his own money and kept the production secret to preserve the plot twists. One of Hitchcock's most innovative decisions was to kill off the main character, Marion Crane, played by Janet Leigh, halfway through the movie. This scene, famous for its visual and auditory impact, shocked audiences and redefined expectations for the horror genre. Bernard Herrmann's iconic score, especially the screeching violins during the shower scene, became one of the most recognizable in film history. Part 7. The Legacy of Ed Gein and Psycho. Ed Gein's influence on the horror genre extends beyond Psycho. He also inspired other iconic film characters like Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Buffalo Bill in The Silence of the Lambs. His disturbing story continues to haunt popular culture and provoke debates about the nature of evil and insanity. Hitchcock revolutionized cinema with Psycho, showing that horror can be rooted in the human mind. The film serves as a dark reminder that reality can sometimes be more terrifying than any fiction. Psycho not only solidified Hitchcock's reputation as the master of suspense, but also paved the way for a new era of psychological horror films. And that's it, folks. This was the story of Ed Gein and how his horrific crimes inspired the classic Psycho. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more chilling stories. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this story and what other cases or movies you would like to see here. Until next time,